Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief presented by Annapolis Subaru, Covington, Alsina, and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Let's get right into it today since there is a lot of big news coming your way. But first, we can't live without it. Boomer Trivia. Which countercultural hero was hailed by Time magazine as the, quote, laureate of the lowlife? Was it Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, Ken Kesey, or Charles Bukowski? Take a guess. I'm going to have that answer for you in about 5 minutes, but right now we have a bunch of news, so shall we? A 52-year-old Silver Spring man who disappeared after diving into Rock Creek in Pasadena has been found dead. Maryland Natural Resources Police has identified him as David Lawrence Jones. Authorities said Jones jumped from a pontoon boat Sunday afternoon to retrieve a hat, but never resurfaced. Friends called for help at around 4:15 p.m. and dive teams searched for about 5 hours before darkness forced them to stop. Divers from the Natural Resources Police and the Anne Arundel County Fire Department recovered his body at about 5:45 p.m. on Monday evening. He was not wearing a life preserver. The body was taken to the office of the chief medical examiner in Baltimore for an autopsy. Another longtime Annapolis restaurant is preparing to close. O'Leary's Seafood will serve its final customers on August 2nd after more than 4 decades in business. Owner Will Peterson said the restaurant is losing its lease and stressed that closing was not his decision. O'Leary's has served the community since 1983 and has become a place where generations of customers have marked birthdays, anniversaries, and other milestones. Peterson is inviting longtime patrons to stop in before the final day so he can thank them personally. He also plans to hold a staff appreciation night with all proceeds going directly to the employees who helped sustain the restaurant through the years. Details about that event will be announced a little bit later. Meanwhile, another piece of Annapolis restaurant history is on the market. The owners of Sue, formerly known as Tsunami, are selling both the Asian Fusion restaurant and its building at 51 West Street after more than 25 years. The property is owned by former Annapolis Mayor Gavin Buckley and his longtime business partners, who also have interest in several other local restaurants. Opened in 1999, Tsunami helped transform that stretch of West Street beyond Church Circle into a destination for food, nightlife, and the arts. The business later became known for its large exterior mural and the ensuing fight with the city's Historic Preservation Commission, a disagreement that helped push Buckley toward public office. Sue does remain open while the owners look for someone willing to buy both the business and the building, or just the building. No asking price or sales timeline has been announced just yet. And we dropped a bonus podcast with Annapolis Mayor Jared Littmann checking in at the roughly 200-day mark of his administration. Littmann discusses securing the money for City Dock, tentative settlement with the HACA housing lawsuit, filling several major leadership positions, and launching a search for a new police chief. He also talks about passing his first budget without raising the tax rate. The conversation gets into permitting reform, including shorter review times and the possible use of AI to screen applications for code compliance. We also cover the financial impact of that proposed $15 million HACA settlement, progress at City Dock, struggles facing nearby businesses, downtown parking, the Golden Pass program, and what Littmann hopes to accomplish during his next 100 days. He even reflects on one decision he believes he could have handled much better, which is not something every politician volunteers without bright lights and perhaps a subpoena. And just a note here, I really screwed up on this. This was recorded in very late June, and I honestly thought I released it. But I realized I hadn't yesterday, so I got it out. And apologies to the mayor, and apologies to you for that delay. And finally, the Annapolis radio dial is getting a little bit more competitive. WNAV has received FCC approval to move its FM translator from 92.7 to 99.9 and broadcast from the Maryland Public Television Tower in Crownsville. The 170-watt directional signal will sit at roughly 640 feet above the ground and is expected to provide substantially better coverage across Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. A launch date has not been announced, but at the same time, 93.5 WRNR has finished first in Anne Arundel County among listeners ages 18 to 34 and 25 to 54 in the latest Nielsen ratings. WRNR returned to the Annapolis FM dial a little more than a year ago after its former 103.1 frequency was sold in 2023. WNAV offers news, talk, sports, and community program, while WRNR focuses on adult alternative rock. They may not play the same game, but both want the same ears, and the Annapolis radio wars may be just warming up. All right, by now you do know the drill. Please let your friends, neighbors, and colleagues, even your enemies, know about our daily news recap email. It is free. It comes to your inbox every night at 7 p.m. and is going to keep you up to speed on all of the top local news stories. Plus, it's paywall free, and I've got a link for you right here in the show notes. Hey, and don't forget that our Local Business Spotlight podcast series is back, and our next episode is going to drop at noon on Saturday. All right, let's put this puppy to bed with a quick thank you to you. We also want to thank our sponsors for this daily news brief: Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Macmedics, Covington Alsina, Third Eye Comics, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. As for that Boomer trivia answer, it was Charles Bukowski, and I have no idea who that is. I am just glad that Jefferson Holland was not referred to as the laureate of the lowlife, because we love Jeff. All right, so now you just need to hang tight. We have your Eye on Annapolis local weather coming up with George Young, and Bridget, also known as BeeprBuzz, is here with Annapolis After Dark. All that's coming up in just a bit, so stick around.
Third Eye Comics, the DMV's favorite nerd store, featuring comics, anime, toys, games, graphic novels, records, and so much more. Visit the famous Third Eye Superstore in Annapolis, Maryland, only 5 minutes from Annapolis Mall, or one of our great locations at Lexington Park, College Park, Waldorf, or Richmond, Virginia. You can also shop online at thirdeyecomics.com.
Next up, we're diving into today's Eye on Annapolis weather forecast. From sunny skies over the bay to storm warnings that could impact your plans, we've got the details to keep you ahead of the curve. Stay tuned. It's all coming your way in just a moment.
Hey everyone, this is George Young with your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief weather forecast for Wednesday, July 22nd. A chance for some additional showers and storms today across the Annapolis region with highs in the upper 80s, ahead of a stretch of very comfortable conditions Thursday through Sunday with mostly sunny skies Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with highs each day in the low to mid 80s, followed by more sunshine on Sunday with highs in the upper 80s. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young for Eye on Annapolis weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net/weather for the latest conditions and forecast information for the Annapolis region, so you can always stay weather informed.
There are more than 500 pets in the care of the SPCA of Anne Arundel County that need good homes, and they have so much to offer the rest of us. At Annapolis Subaru, we are committed to helping the SPCA see that these animals stay safe and healthy. All year long, Annapolis Subaru partners with the SPCA to host pet adoption events, sponsor vaccination clinics, and community events. We feature pets on our weekly Canines and Crosstreks podcast. Our associates and our Subaru customers show up in packs at the Walk for the Animals and Lights on the Bay events. You can help our SPCA find loving homes for these pets. Volunteer, donate, foster, read a book, scratch some ears, or rub some bellies. Show up for the pets in the care of the SPCA of Anne Arundel County.
The music scene in Anne Arundel County is popping, and sometimes it's hard to sort through it all. From blues to pop, from funk to ska, BeeprBuzz has it all covered for you in this week's Annapolis After Dark.
Good morning, Annapolis. BeeprBuzz here with your Annapolis After Dark weekend music highlights for Wednesday, July 22nd through Sunday, July 26th. Find the full daily Annapolis music schedule on the socials for Annapolis Streaming and BeeprBuzz, and also all 3 websites. We update with changes and cancellations so you know before you go. Live music for today, Wednesday. Start with Happy Hour with Dana B at Julep over by Annapolis Town Center, or with Aiden and Brian Ewald up at Stan and Joe's on West Street. Steve McCoy is solo at Nona Angela's up in Crofton. The Highland Brothers will be at Catch 22 down in North Beach. Thursday, Tides and Tunes hopefully returns to the Maritime Museum over in Eastport with the music this week by Sweet Lita. Doug Segree will be up at O'Loughlin's in Arnold. David Sparrow will be in Annapolis this Thursday. He'll be at 49 West with Chris Homan, Aiden Hayward, and Dan Alvarez. Over on the shore, Brian Chiotti of Chialter Music will be at Amalfi, Coast Italian. And under my other things to do listed at the bottom of each day, open mic night at Copper Creek in memory of Bob Quinlan, hosted by Uncle Bill Riley and Paul Cortese. D Squared will be the featured band this week. Weekend music. Guava Jelly will be at Great Frogs Winery. Nick Channel will be at Waterman's Tavern in Edgewater. And if you keep on going down Muddy Creek Road, Pete Best will be at Pirates Cove. And just next door, Chris Button returns to Stan and Joe's Riverside Friday night. And if you keep going down a little bit further, Salad Sender Jazz Trio will be at Captain Avery's down in Shadyside. Richard Hayward will be at the Ruddy Duck in Solomons. Johnny Paulus returns to Odie's Booze Box in Odenton. David Maureen will debut at Chesapeake up in Crofton. Matt Heat will be at Severna Park Tap House. And Mike Sharp will be at Annapolis Yacht Club for their members and guests. Over on the shore, Michael Waskey will be at Harris Crab House up at the Pearl. Saturday, Tommy McGee Band will be at the Green Turtle in Edgewater. The Eptones will be at Gina's Cantina in Millersville. Rick Farrell and the Borrowed Stars will be at Severna Park Tap House. The Cyphers Band will be at Blackwall Hitch, Annapolis. Adam Forbes will be solo down at Santa Joe's Riverside. And Loose Change will be rocking the American Legion in Edgewater, Mayo. And up in the Dina, Rock, Salt, and Grass will be at Mike's Crab House. And Adam Merkel will be at Lakeshore Tavern. Sunday, fun day. Wendell will be singing the Sinatra at Carpaccio's and end the weekend at Santa Joe's on West Street with Sean Owen. Remember, these are just the highlights. Find the full schedule of music for all of Annapolis and the surrounding areas on the Annapolis Streaming Facebook event and all 3 websites. I'll see you out there.
Have you ever thought, I think I'm okay, but you just want to know for sure? Covington Alsina is right here in Annapolis, helping women put a clear plan around their money, their goals, and their life. For over a decade, they've helped women turn uncertainty into clarity with practical guidance built around real life. Whether you're making a career move, planning for retirement, managing investments, or sorting through tax and estate planning, Covington Alsina helps you get organized and move forward with confidence. And if you'd like to learn before you leave, Covington Alsina hosts monthly educational events, virtual and in person. Learn more at covingtonalsina.com and click events, or call the Annapolis office at 410-457-7165. covingtonalsina.com. At the intersection of women and wealth. Advisory services offered through Covington Alsina, a registered investment advisor. Investing involves the risk of loss and unless otherwise stated is not guaranteed.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.